What's going on? Rob here, Trumps2323. We're in my man cave down here. See all my crap down here. But we're going over the Bell Gossett 1/6 horsepower pump. You can see back here I have an old boiler. I got my headlight on so you can see the pump. And behind the old boiler over here is the Bell Gossett 1/6 horsepower pump. Now this is the actual pump. This is the housing that connects it to the impeller, and this is an impeller right here. I'm gonna give a shout out to South. Let me shut that off. Give a shout out to South Chicago Plumbing and Heating on Commercial Avenue in Chicago. They supply me with all the parts that I need to keep this older thing running. My house is 110 years old, but I don't know how old the boiler is. Okay, so what I'm going over is a little bit about the pump. You see the connections turning in there, right? Okay, let me shut this off again. Alright, so what that is, let me go over here. Alright, what that is in there is a coupling that you could buy. Sometimes that coupling breaks, and it's like two crosses, two X's, but there's springs all around them to hold them together. So when the motor turns, that's what turns the impeller. Let's turn this back on over here, and that's right in there. Now if that comes off, the hard thing is that you have to take it off with a Allen wrench. It's connected by a little Allen wrench on the impeller side and on the motor side, so that's kind of what sucks. Okay, so this year I was having a little problem. I'm trying to get the light so it's not on the camera. I was having a little bit problem with my motor. It started last year actually, where the motor wasn't running. What my furnace would kick on when it said to kick on, it would actually kick on, and only it'll stop because there's an aquastat on it that after a certain temperature it'll shut it down so it don't explode. So the radiator right above the furnace, the boiler, I keep saying furnace, the radiator right above the boiler and the one next to it would be hot, piping hot, but the rest of them in the house were cold, and that's because this pump right here was not spinning. So I came down to manually try to put the motor on to see if it'll run, and it'll go zzz, like you hear it trying to run, but it's not actually running. It makes two different sounds. You'll be able to tell the difference if it's trying to run and if it's actually running. Now this right here, I don't know what this is the connections, just two connections. It's a 115 volt pump, so it's just two connections, a black and a white. But this right here has to just be the shut off, and it's kind of good because when it's trying to turn, if it can't, it'll shut it off till it cools off. Then within 15 minutes, it'll once it cools down, it'll go back on. All right, this right here, I don't know if I'll be able to get it out right here. I could get the other one out, but I don't got my pliers with me right now. This right here needs to be filled up with oil. Let me see. I can't get that one out. There's one in here also. You know what? Let me go get some pliers so I can show you the right one. I had to go get some needle nose pliers because I couldn't get it out. There's just little plugs in there. See? There's a plug right there. Put that, just drop it on the top for now. And then there's a plug right here. See? There's a plug right there. I'm not going to set it in right. Those both need to be oiled. And then this one right here. See that one right there? Now here's my dilemma. What happened is, let me get back in the light here. Okay, so what happened for me is the pump stopped. The pump wasn't spinning freely, and it started happening last year. Now these pumps are expensive. I get mine at $389. You buy them off the internet. They're like, not off the internet, but other companies like big warehouses are like $500, almost $600 for these pumps. So where I get mine is $389. Okay, so it'll act like it would go on, but it wouldn't spin. Where you're supposed to oil them. Okay, you're supposed to oil right here in the back. You take this little thing out right here, this little orange thing, and you put drops of oil right here, and then you put drops of oil right in here. And this one, you pull this one out right here, you put drops of oil here, and then you put oil here. Now when you first install it, they give you a little thing with it, and it got the measurements on how much oil goes in the big one by the impeller and how much oil goes in the other two. And so it gives you the exact measurements, but every year you're supposed to put more oil in it to keep it well lubed. Well, so I would just, for, I guess I want to say shits and giggles, but every year I would use this right here. 3-in-1. All right, and with the 3-in-1 household oil, this got a good extension. I would put, with the extension, I'd put some right here in the back, a couple drops. I had to put a couple drops right here, and then I'd put some in this one right here. Well, what I looked at and I read on the internet, this year I was actually out of 3-in-1. Let me shut that off. Good. I was out of 3-in-1. I had none here, and this thing wasn't working. So this is not recommended for you to do, but I actually shut it off from the main. I shut it off from the main, and I shut my finger in here like a big dummy, and I started spinning it by hand. I started spinning it with my finger in there. Then I went back over there and I turned it on from the main, and when the furnace kicked on, I seen that little impeller. It was actually trying to turn. It was trying like real slow to turn, so I figured maybe it wasn't lubed up enough. Since I didn't have any household oil, I went ahead and put my 5W30 in it. Okay, so I put my 5W30 in here, in here, and in here. Okay, and thinking, I mean, 5W30 is actually thicker than this little household oil. So the 5W30, believe it or not, worked. I mean, for 2 days, it worked no problem. It was really good. It worked no problem. But then after that, I woke up one morning freezing again, and the pump stopped working again. All right. So I went ahead and read up on it, and believe it or not, this is pretty crazy. This part right here, that'll screw back on later. I just took that off. That part right there, you can actually put 10W30 oil in there. 10W30. And this one and this one, you're supposed to use household oil. All right. So I put 5W30 in it. Okay. And this is normally I use household oil. Believe it or not, when this was empty, I put this inside of here to make it easier to pour it from this tip. Okay. All right, but what I did now is I came back with this, because when I had this in here, it worked for 2 days, and then after 2 days it stopped working again. But if I spin it, I actually would have, believe it or not, with this big screwdriver, I went ahead and I popped it, I moved it around, put it back on, and it started working. And people say, well, why don't you just go buy your own? I am going to go buy my own, but this is for somebody that don't have the $400 to dish out, or somebody that, you know what, they're new to owning their own home and they're having these problems. This pump right here is about 5 years old, because I did replace it myself. But I went ahead and I put the WD-40. I opened this up. Now it says once a year you're supposed to put 12 drips in here, 12 drips in here, and then put and this is just household oil, and then put 10W30 in here. Now if you see the big thing at the bottom, I went ahead, and since I put 10W30 in both of them, I actually sprayed the crap with WD-40 in here, in here, and in here, and I sprayed them to the point where it was dripping on the bottom. Now here we are a week later, and the pump is still running. The pump is still running a week later. So if it stops running, I'm probably going to go ahead and do the same thing with the WD-40 and spray it in there. Now one thing, if you do have to take it off, okay, if you do have to take it off, you're going to have to shut off the power from the main, okay, and there's just 2 wires right here. Shut off the power from the main, disconnect these 2 wires, and take this off right here, this little nut right here, and then this will slide out. Okay, here's going to be the tricky part. If you do have to take it out, if you have to take it out, you're going to have to take out these right here, okay, and these right here. I believe this is part of it. This is one part right here from here back, and this is the impeller. Now if you're leaking water right here, you see a lot of water leaking, that's your impeller. You got to replace your impeller, because I replaced that also. But this right here, if your motor's not spinning, you're going to have to take these off and these off right here. But even if you take these bolts off right here, you're not going to be able to get the coupling off. You need to spin it to where you can see the Allen wrench, because there's going to be a little Allen wrench. Stick the Allen wrench in there and turn it to get the little Allen bolt off. Then stick a flathead screwdriver in here and pop the coupling off. and then you'll be able to disconnect everything. Now with this, you'll be able to actually, with that one little Allen wrench on the impeller side, with the screwdriver and Allen wrench, pop that off and take these right here off, and then you'll be able to take this whole motor off. And then the hardest thing is actually putting that damn impeller and spring back on. If I have to do that, if I have to do that, I'm gonna make a video of it. But right now I wanted to show you how to kind of rework this motor to get it running again. All right, because it's running, and it's been about a week long running. All right, this is a Bell & Gossett 1.6 horsepower. Let me see if that says right here. All right, everything's on the side right here. Bell & Gossett 1.6 horsepower motor. It's 115 volts. All right, hope that helped you, gave you some insight, and thanks for watching. Bye bye. I just wanted to let you know that here we are. It's like a month later and the pump's still working fine, knock on wood. But this is the second year that I had to kind of mess around with it to keep it going. Eventually I'm probably gonna have to buy one, but right now I just want to share how I did this to keep it running. Bye.